And we're going to give everybody just a couple more minutes to jump in. While we're waiting for people to jump in, did anybody have any questions on yesterday's material? If you've got general questions, please keep them to the end. But if you have questions from yesterday's material, now would be the time to ask them. All right, so everyone's getting everything just fine. That's great. Awesome. All right, we'll give everybody one more minute. One more minute. You know, I always say you're on time, you're late. You're early, then you're on time. Nice. All right. All right. I see most of us here today were on the call yesterday, but again, my name is Kara McMaster and I'm the CEO of The Nimble Agent. I have been working with realtors since 2017. I know a thing or two, generate millions of dollars in commissions when it comes to everything I'm going to show you guys here today, plus all the kinds of strategies. But this 5-day challenge is to give you some clarity on creating a strategy that attracts your most ideal people. How do you show good up on camera? What kind of content should you be creating? How do we amplify it on all of the different channels? And we get deep into the weeds. So let's get this party started. All right, day two. Day two, we're gonna start to look at creating and optimizing your profiles. Notice how we have yet to dive into the video. And this is, you know, I know we're in real estate, but I do believe in building a good, solid foundation. Is that what happens is that people are going to see your stuff. They're going to start to want more stuff from you. And it's really important that the assets that they come back to visit are having an opportunity for somebody to become a lead. So just as a reminder here, guys, a little housekeeping, keep yourselves on mute until the end. And it's time. I know sometimes when we join by cell phone, it automatically turns on your mic. So make sure that you keep yourselves on mute so it's nice and clean and the recording for everybody can hear it really well. So we're going to be creating and optimizing your profiles. Today isn't a step-by-step of how to build your profile for a very good reason. You will notice that a lot of the stuff I put in here is very real estate related. There isn't the how to open up a TikTok account version of this because you can go to YouTube and you can get that. What you can't get on YouTube is a person who's literally generated millions of dollars in GCI for realtors that's giving away the content on YouTube. That is what we are here for, and that is why we do this live. So if there is time that permits at the end, if we need to do that live where you can ask me questions, for sure. But what I always say to my coaching clients or anybody who works with me on these like live calls or anywhere, it's like, try to ask me the questions that YouTube cannot answer for you. You can really utilize those questions as best as effectively for you. Okay, so we're going to walk you through how to get your TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube optimized for receiving leads. Then we're going to look at what is the exact bio formula that you need to include on Instagram and TikTok that has leads begging to put in their contact details. We're going to learn which features to use and which ones are just going to straight up waste your time. Don't worry about those ones. And we're going to learn how to automate the delivery of new leads from social media right into your CRM. So we touched base a little bit on this yesterday that, you know, all these platforms, you know, I stayed around and talked to some other realtors about the fear that kind of exists right now with platforms like TikTok and being a Chinese owned entity that may or may not be stealing your information. And the reality at the end of the day is that all of these social media platforms, they have various access to various things. But the name of the game here is go where the attention is and take them offline. Get them into your CRM, do the nurturing. So I even have some frameworks of what you guys are going to say the first time that you talk to this lead for the first time. So that's not a salesy conversation. It's a very natural conversation. Okay. To start us off, I know quite a few of us had purchased the digital business card. And if you've yet to grab it, you still have one last chance. We are drawing them up. So those who have purchased this, look out for an email today from Miss Vicky on our team. She's going to be collecting some basic information from you. From those who did not have a chance to grab it, I will put the link in the chat. It is a way to never have to worry about leaving home without one of your cards ever again. In fact, by allowing somebody just to scan this, we just keep this right on our phone, right on the phone, not like printed, but just like digitally on your phone. Somebody scans that and they're easily will pull up your digital card. So they can easily add in your phone number, your email. You can add in any of your social media contacts here. It's a pretty sweet thing, so you never have to worry. So if that's something that you want, you still have one last chance to grab it. For those who have already purchased it, thank you. And that is on its way. You'll see today an onboarding form so that we can collect all of these details and customize it based on, your branding, your phone number, all that good stuff. All right, so what does it mean to optimize your social media channels? Well, as I was saying, lots of people are going to click and review your profile. Lots of people are going to go in, they're going to watch a few videos, and they're going to come back and they're going to want to see more of you. And if you give them an opportunity to properly put in their name, email, and phone number, that's where we can have some really big wins. Also another opportunity to have really great calls to action in your content to get them to take further action and become a lead. So stay with me here. We're going to go through all those details in just a moment. So let's first look at how to get your TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube set up and fully optimized. Okay. Step one, we actually need to create a downloadable guide. This is the easiest way. Now, TikTok and Instagram, they have one single clickable link on the profile. That's the only place that you can have a clickable link. Most people think that you should be putting in your website here, and don't do that. Here's why. You did a lot of work to get somebody to come over and take action, and now they've clicked on your link, and you think that by driving them over to your website's a good idea. But the reason why we don't want to do that is that your website has a lot going on. You have listings, you have navigation, you have reviews about you. There's a lot on a real estate website, and people will get lost. People were there. Maybe your website's not as mobile friendly as it needs to be. So what you want to have is a single landing page that advertises the downloadable guide. Now, I'm going to show you some really cool resources because you're probably freaking out right now. It's okay. I got you. Just stay with me. So a downloadable guide is something that we want to create for your most ideal avatar. And that is why yesterday we went through exactly who is your ideal client, right? We talked about retirees. We talked about people who are first-time home buyers. We talked about people who are investors. We talked about millennials who are helping their parents retire, or maybe millennials who are selling their house for the very first time. But basically what you want to do is you want to come up with a downloadable guide that's going to answer and help them solve something. I like solving something in under 20 minutes. You don't want to give them an encyclopedia because if they have to be able to consume it relatively quickly in order for them to see you as the authority. Because there's a few things that are going to be happening in the background to really get some action out of that lead. It wasn't just downloading some free thing. I'm going to take you through those exact same steps, but let's just go through some examples so you can start to get an idea of what you should be creating for this downloadable guide. So examples, let's say you work with investors, the best neighborhoods in Toronto to buy your first Airbnb, or maybe you create a millennials checklist to helping your parents move. Or maybe you want to help first-time home buyers figure out should they go new construction versus resale, a guide for first-time home buyers to help them make the right choice. So we can start to see here that you want to come up with something that's going to help them solve a problem, okay? I can guarantee you 80% of you are like, this chick's crazy. I came here to learn video. Now you're telling me that I need to go and write this thing. I don't have time to do that. And what can I do to speed up the process? Well, I have a tool for you, and you may or may not have heard all of what's happening within the news when it comes to AI. But guys, it's pretty freaking powerful. And in fact, what if I told you that you could write this guide in under 2 minutes? You give the AI the correct prompt, and it's going to make you a personalized guide. Did anybody find some value in that? Maybe throw me a 1 in the chat. Maybe throw me a heck yeah, heck no. Girl, you crazy. What do you guys think? Please just give me a thumbs up. Yeah. All right. Let's take a look here, guys. Awesome. Heck yeah. Cool. Let me introduce you to a tool called Jasper.ai. Now, you can get a free version of this. Okay. Again, I'm not telling you guys that you need to go and make a purchase today. I'm trying to give you as many resources as possible that doesn't spend resources of your time. But this is called Jasper.ai. It will write anything. It will write video scripts. It will create blog posts. It will create social media posts. It'll do just about anything you want it to do. And while some of us might be running away from AI, run towards it, my friends, because it is here to stay and it's here to take some things over. So the better you can get with giving it prompts and understanding how to tell it what you want the output to look like, a lot easier this content journey you're about to go down is going to be on. So let me just go here for a second, and I'm going to give you guys the exact prompt. So let's get Jasper AI to create a first draft for you. And I want you to see an example in action. So this is an example prompt, right? Remember how I said the prompt that you give it is going to dictate how good or not good. So I'm going to say, create a 1,000-word guide for brand new investors wanting to purchase their very first Airbnb rental in Toronto, and be sure to include the best neighborhoods in Toronto to purchase a property. I hope y'all are ready for this, because if you haven't seen this stuff in action, I'm about to blow away. About to blow you away. All right, so let's go. What do we want to write? Write a document. Let's go start from scratch. Let's put in this prompt and see what it does. Sometimes you need a little bit of tweak. Sometimes you need to choose the right. Maybe you need to run the different prompts, but I'm going to choose the output length of L, which stands for larger. And there it is. I put in create a 1,000-word guide for brand new investors wanting to purchase their very first Airbnb rental in Toronto, and be sure to include the best neighborhoods in Toronto to purchase a property. Are you guys ready for this? I know I'm hyping this up a lot, but I'm seriously about to blow you away. This is all we've done. I have not put anything else into this tool. That is the only prompt that I have given this tool, and it's going to write us a guide right now. I wish I could see everyone's faces right now. I know we got a lot of cameras off, but. And then we're going to go from the top. And we're going to read it together, because this is how you guys are going to create your guide. I'm not asking you guys to go and write a guide today. I want you to use this tool, because this is going to sound really sad to say, that's probably going to do a better job, even though you've been a realtor and even though you know. That's why I say it's a draft, so you can go in and you can make some adjustments. And tell me if this is wrong. We're going to go through and we're going to do a quick skim of this. If you're a GTA realtor who specializes in Airbnb properties, I want to know how bad or not bad this tool was for writing. So you can tell it if you only wanted 500 words, you wanted 1,000 words, but let's look up the very top here. The ultimate guide to purchasing your first Airbnb rental in Toronto. Are you thinking of investing in Airbnb rental? Canada's largest city. If so, there are many factors you need to consider before making your purchase. Let's skim down. Here are some of the best neighborhoods to invest in Airbnb property in Toronto. Downtown core, the East Side, a mix of eclectic shops, restaurants, nightlife. West Queen Street West, Parkdale, the Junction Triangle, Liberty Village, Bloor West Village. Guys, it gave us the exact neighborhoods that we were asking for it to make for us. Finally, once the property, whoever just joined, somebody just joined here and you're not on mute, can you please put yourself on mute? Finally, once find property believe meets all criteria. So this is where it can break down. This is why I call it a draft and not a final version. You're going to want to go in, because sometimes it will spell things wrong. Sometimes the grammar isn't the best, but could anybody have written this any faster? Right? Who thinks that that's the coolest tool? Am I the only one? Yeah. Guys, this is going to do so much for you. It is so crazy. So think of really, really great prompts. Everything that you want to come up with for that guide, give it. And what you can do is you can keep continuing to tweak it, right? You can take this and now you can say, okay, add in, okay, now write it again. But this time add in home values of 1-bedroom condos in 2022. And now it'll start to add those things in. So whatever pieces that it's missing, that's where you want to go and identify and then give it, and it's going to go in there. Raj says, is Jasper the same or better than ChatGPT? So ChatGPT has a free version and a paid. I haven't used their paid version. What I'm showing you right now is the paid version of Jasper. I do find that I prefer Jasper better because I think it's been a little bit better trained with marketing knowledge versus ChatGPT. You could be like, you can ask it more random, silly questions, like is AI going to take over the world? And it'll answer that question for you. Versus they've fed a lot of information to AI. So I'm actually very closely tied. I'll share this with the group. I know we are recording, but I trust you guys. I have my own software developer team currently. We're building AI software for video editing. So hopefully one day you guys will be able to come in soon. We're currently looking for investors, but we're very close to having an app where you could just take your short form content, give it to the AI, and it will output the exact sequence and what it should be. So that's why I say run towards it, don't run away from it. It truly is here to make our lives better. But that is a tool that I want you guys to use. So that is option A. That is option A for creating your guide. Let's look at some more options for you if maybe this isn't for you. Maybe you do have your own that you want to write. Just remember what I mentioned to you yesterday is that what you don't want to do is create a guide that is readily available. I see the first-time homebuyers checklist like everywhere, or the seller's checklist, or these like really like done before, super vanilla. It's not enough for somebody to want to take action. And when everybody's doing it, it's just like, I've seen that before. So really get into your ideal avatar, ideal client / avatar's mind, understand what are their challenges, what are they trying to create. And you can even simplify it too. Like I've seen some things like, in like the Florida market, especially when you can come up with a list of homes for under 400,000 that have a pool or that have an ocean view. I don't even think that's available in Florida anymore, but you get my drift. It doesn't have to be crazy extensive, but like if you dream it, you can build it, especially when you're using a tool like Jasper.ai. If you want to be super duper, just get this done and you don't want to have to think about it, there are platforms like Etsy. We'll go back to Canva in just a second here. But there are platforms like Etsy where you can go in. There's lots of other platforms out there where you can purchase ready-made real estate materials. They're cheap, they're easy, but again, it really isn't that great of a job because it's probably not answering some deep-seated questions that that you can help people figure out, but it is an option for you. If you don't want to have to design it, if you just want to get the work done today and you want to get something in your hands just to start this process, go to Etsy, spend like $8-10, go and type in a guide that you're looking for, see what Etsy pops out. You can see this one here, the real estate investment secret, and it's all made for you on Canva so that you can easily make a digital PDF. You can maybe go in and change up the colors if you are so inclined. Let's say you already have a lead magnet that you really love, but maybe you just want to give it some tweaks. Maybe you designed something on like a Google Doc and you want to give it a little bit of flair. This is where you go over to Canva. Canva is, again, it's free. They have so many templates that you can just plug in the word copy and then adjust the colors based on your branding, add in your website, add in your phone numbers, and add in the various calls to actions. And then link any assets that are mentioned that are digitally, you can link right inside of that lead magnet. So that's the best options that I have for you there in order to make a lead magnet. Any questions on the lead magnet, or do you need any help with determining what your lead magnet should be on? Who doesn't have an idea their lead magnet should be? Everybody have an idea? Awesome. Let's all be great friends and share your ideas in the chat. It would be really great, I think, to help spark some ideas. And then maybe once I see in the chat, maybe I can help you kind of tighten it up a little bit as well. Jesse says 1 for each since there's 3 to 4. Great question, Jesse. Thank you for addressing that. Just make one right now for one of your avatars. Eventually, you're going to have 3 to 4 different ones, and you're going to test out what gets you the highest opt-in rate, what gets you the biggest click-through rate, and you'll want to test that. But right now, because we're moving with speed, just create one. Ashley says, I was thinking about Calendly to schedule consults. So I love that, Ashley. What I would recommend is in the landing page that I'm about to show you that you have that as an option to allow people to schedule online consults and virtual coffees with you. but I wouldn't make it your single call to action on your profile because the lead magnets are a very small little ask. And I'm going to show you some big ways that you can get talking to those people. Well, I'm going to show you actually how to do the landing page, so just bear with me here. And then getting somebody to commit to having a conversation with you right from the get-go is a really big ask to do. So I recommend that you just tone it down on the landing page that we're going to have on the mobile version. And this one single call to action, that's the call to action that you have on your TikTok profile. It's the call to action that we're going to put on your Facebook. We're going to put this everywhere. We're going to put it everywhere. And I'm going to show you here in just a minute. All right, Drew, you're jumping ahead on me, but I love it. Let's address right now. I've heard you need to have a certain amount of followers in order to have the link in your bio. Is that not the case? So, Drew, you are correct and you are wrong, sir, with both. So when you have a personal account on TikTok, you need to have 1,000 followers or more in order to have a clickable link. If you do not have 1,000 followers, then you can turn on the business version of TikTok, and then you will be allowed to have a clickable link. The nice thing is that you can flip-flop between personal and business as much as you want. And so we'll go into a little bit later when we talk about trends about why you're doing that. But Drew, if you don't have the 1,000 followers yet, just turn on business and then you'll get that clickable link. All right, perfect. So if you have what your lead magnet is, don't forget, guys, drop it in the chat. Or go back to the Facebook group that I gave you guys yesterday, drop it in there. I want to see how I can help you kind of tighten this up so that it's a really nice, enticing reason to get somebody to click through. Raj says, is business like IG makes your account private? No, so TikTok has personal or business accounts, and then IG has business, creator, and personal accounts. But IG doesn't matter. You can have that clickable link regardless of which one you choose. For the purpose of what we're kind of doing with this course, I say stay either on personal or the creator. Don't turn on the business in IG. You don't need it. And then for TikTok, if you have 1,000 followers, keep the personal on. If you don't have 1,000 followers, then turn on business so that you can have that clickable link. Vinay says, what about creator profile on TikTok? Found that business blocks some sounds. So yeah, you can turn on the creator for TikTok if you want. And it's true, there's a lot of sounds that you won't have access to through business. I'd have to check though with the creator profile the last time how many followers you have to have in order to have that clickable link. But again, you can flip flop all the time. And I do it all the time. Between business and personal, just because when you have business on, you get access to a lot more analytics than you would if you just had personal. And I like to see a lot of stuff to go on with the analytics, which we'll go over tomorrow, or maybe it's day 4. But either way, you can flip flop between the two. All right. All right, so we actually do need to create a mobile optimized landing page. Now, notice I said mobile optimized. It's really, really important because when people go from your profile and they click on that link, if they're on their mobile phone, that's why they're scrolling around on TikTok, YouTube Shorts, etc. So you have to make sure that what you're building it on is designed exactly for that experience. We kind of went over this before. TikTok and IG only give you a clickable link. I've seen lots of people, they'll put a link in the caption and they like in the hopes that people are going to copy and paste that into a browser. Honestly, no one ever does that. So that's why the key is that I'm going to give you some strong call to actions that you can make today throughout when you're speaking on that lead magnet within your content to get them to go and click back over. All right. Ishwar says, did you just say we should not turn on business on IG? If you do, I would not if you don't have to, Ishwar. Keep it on personal until they're going to force us otherwise. Nicholas says, do you have to reset the link and redo the business access every time you switch back and forth? It will just not show up. Yeah, you're right, Nicholas. 100%. Every time if you go, you don't have the 1,000 followers yet. I think even if you do or not, I think even if you have the 1,000 followers, it's going to make you reset the link. So just be mindful of that. I just always have my link just saved on the notepad when you're turning that on and off as well. But sometimes too, like you're going to pre-schedule content on TikTok, you have to have a business account. Like you can use the desktop version and you can schedule your content. But as we mentioned yesterday, it actually hurts it actually hurts the reach of your video. So we don't use any scheduling tools here at the company for our clients. And I'm going to show you how you put everything in draft. So it's all ready to go. So you don't have to worry about scheduling. So I'm going to show you a really great example of an optimized landing page. This is Christian Mortuzzo's. You can see here at the very top, we've got his image, his name. We're not like you again, check with what your local province and state says as to how you advertise yourself as an individual. But if you can get away without mentioning that darn brokerage, leave them out. I really want my agents just focusing everything on them as much as possible. So again, you're going to have to check with what your state laws and what your brokerage says, but if you can leave it out, you can see here that these aren't even like Christians with EXP. And we really want to amplify him and not the brokerage branding. So that's just my little rant that I'll get off my soapbox here, but you guys can brand yourselves and not rely on your brokerage branding. This is how we're going to start separating you. At the very top of the landing page, we have the lead magnet in question. So that's at the very top there. Name, email, and phone number is what I want you guys to be pulling in there. And then any other big assets that we have. Christian does a lot of new construction. He actually has a Facebook group that he drives a lot of traffic to. And then down here are some really big videos that got a lot of views that we drive them to. And then if he has any more guides or assets, we'll include that there. So just nice and mobilely optimized. When you're on this, I'm scrolling on a phone, you're going to see this come up. Okay, this here, the call to action and getting them to put in their information is very important for what us marketers like to call below and above the fold, which comes from an old term within newspapers. Newspapers back in the day, when you picked up a newspaper, you wanted to have the headline above the fold so that it enticed you to purchase the magazine or the newspaper. The same thing when we look at a mobilely optimized website, when we're trying to get somebody to take action, you have to make sure that the action of which it is that you're asking for is above the fold. They can't just have to scroll down and find the thing. So keep in mind when you are building out that landing page. Okay, options for building your landing page. There is Linktree, okay, but there are some big pros and there are some big cons. Linktree, it costs money, right? I think it costs, last time I checked, it was like 12 bucks a month, right? So you just add another cost there. They do make it, you could literally set up your mobile page in under an hour, maybe even half an hour. It's pretty quick. And you can get it all set up. And what it allows you to do is have all these other links and everything kind of going to all these other places that you want it to go. The reason why we really don't like Linktree, though, honestly, and I would never use it for one of my clients, is a few big key reasons. Number one, I cannot track those people back. So I like my landing pages and my websites to all have the Facebook pixel, the Google Analytics pixel, the TikTok pixel, basically the LinkedIn pixel. Anyway, I can recall back that traffic. So I'm really big on retargeting. You guys know that I don't really like running Facebook lead ads for realtors, but I love doing retargeting. Set up these campaigns where you can spend like $5 a day. We won't go into it today, but it's where you're given the opportunity to reach back to those people of who you spent all this hard work on visiting your assets. And you can't do that with something like Linktree. So my best option for you here is your own website. If you have the resources, reach out to whomever built your website and show them the example that I've given you guys today and say, I want that, and get them to build it for you. Don't let them charge you more than a few $100 because it really shouldn't cost more than that. Should be maximum 90-minute build to get somebody to build that for you. Step one. If you're your own savvy person and you have like a Real Geeks or a WordPress website or something where you can build it yourself and do it yourself, again, if it's going to take you more than 90 minutes to build this, you do want to seek some help out for this, or use a service like Linktree. It's that lost opportunity that you're doing. Google websites, it's pretty free. It's a free option if you want to build it on there. Remember, just choosing mobile optimize. Unbounce and MailChimp also make it very easy to do a drag and drop builder to build out landing pages. And then you've got things like Wix. And then oftentimes your CRM will have landing pages that you can use that are mobily optimized. Keep it really simple. Have your name, email, and phone number at the very top, but you need to have a landing page so that you can actually distribute the thing that you're at there. Jesse says Genus Link can add pixels. So I've never used Genus Link. So if you want to throw in some more information there for us, Jesse, that would be really helpful for the group. Thanks so much. Appreciate that. All right. this is the big, big, big piece. We want to automate the delivery of the leads that come in. Okay. When those leads come in, you guys know speed to lead. I don't care where the source is, whether it's organic or whether it's cold, speed to lead is always going to be insanely important. So if you're using outside sources like a Google site or like Linktree or like anything that is not your CRM, you need to make sure that you have something delivering that lead in. So I kind of wrote these out from easiest to hardest. At the top, use a landing page from your CRM so you can grab new leads and put it into the right nurturing campaign. Use landing page builders that I mentioned because they all have what's called a backdoor API access, which means Zapier, which is a platform, it's a software that just think of it like connecting two softwares together. You can easily grab that information and input it into your CRM. And I've yet to really meet a CRM, honestly, unless it's like some crazy custom solution that doesn't have the ability to connect Zapier to it. And then one of the things I mentioned here for a landing page here was if you don't want to go with a landing page, you can just use DMs. You can say, send me a DM or comment down below and I will send you the thing. Right? If you want to just, again, move fast and you're like, there's no way I'm going to get this done this week, then go with this method. I at least want you to build out the downloadable guide and then we can at least have delivery within our DMs. And then what you're just going to do is you're going to store that lead magnet on your phone. And then you're going to have a notepad. So every time the name, email, and phone number comes in, grab it, and then you can easily send them out that. Now, with some things that you're going to have to watch out for on TikTok, that person has to be able to, they have to follow you in order for you to be able to DM them. Can't just cold message people with your PDF, things like that. So when you're working somebody in the comments, you're going to want to say, hey, make sure that you follow me so I can send you that, that guide that you're looking for and send it out that way. So just one thing to be mindful for. Ishwar says, I can build landing pages from a CRM, but how can I have multiple landing pages on one link other than Linktree? Sorry, I missed that. So that landing page that you're going to build from the CRM, Ishwar, at the very top, you have a block that you select their name, email, and phone number for the guide that you want to give them. And then what follows below is things that are just going to amplify you that speak back to your avatar. So maybe you have some great YouTube videos that you did. Maybe you have another TikToks that you really want to make sure that they watch. Maybe there's a really great award that you won because, maybe you work with investors and, maybe there's a case study that you can showcase how you helped an investor, make back his money in under 3 years because of X, Y, and Z. Anything that kind of showcases you more that you want somebody to easily go and consume. I like to make it a visual representation and not just like a button that clicks over on a link. But just focus on the very, very top above the fold of advertising your lead magnet and giving out your name, email, and phone number. So love to hear that your CRM has that. That's going to make your life so much easier. All right, here's what we're going to do when we get a lead, guys. This part's pretty important. Hi, name. Hey, I noticed that you grabbed my insert name of lead magnet and I wanted to reach out. I actually have a lot of resources available for you. What are your current real estate goals? Because I want to see if there's anything else that I have in my toolbox that I can hand over to you. So this allows you to have a very natural conversation with somebody. We're not starting off with like, hey, I'm a realtor and I just wanted to see if you wanted to buy a house this year. Or, hey, I'm a realtor and I just want to see if you're interested in selling your house this year. It's like, ugh. Like I watched all these videos of yours and I liked you, but now you just turned this into a yucky sales conversation. And I'll share a secret as to why this works so well and how I discovered this. I cold call a lot of realtors for this business right here. In fact, I have 6 agents that all they do all day long is cold call. So if you got one of those, I'm sorry, not sorry. We're actually kind of good at it. But the ways in which we do that is we don't start off the conversations with, hey, can I sell you this thing? Because nobody wants to be sold to. We have resources available and we have toolbox and we wanted to understand a little bit about what's going on with their business so that maybe we can send them another resource. Or if you've ever downloaded a guide from us or a lead magnet, it's the exact same. So on the conversation is, hey, I noticed you downloaded X and I wanted to understand what are you trying to do in today's current market because I have a lot of resources that might be able to help you. And we don't talk nothing about them trying to buy or sell with us personally. We are just there to be a resource. And then you're going to take really good notes. You're going to put that into your CRM and you're going to figure out what is the next step. When are you next going to follow up with this person? But don't worry, you'll get the slide deck so that you can copy that, practice that, really internalize that. All right, let's talk about some mobile page best practices as you go and you build this. So as I mentioned, make sure you collect their name, email, and phone number at the top. You want to have the little asterisks inside of the field because you want to make it a must that they send it. And then you want to follow it up with anything that helps stand out. So again, down at the bottom, high performing videos. Maybe you had some $1 million listings that had really big results. Maybe there are some awards that you have won. Were there any community features that you were featured in? And then again, I know somebody had asked, hey, I want to do virtual coffee bookings. That's where you can actually put it on this landing page there. And then of course, you want to connect that to the CRM. What I suggest is, like, a lot of times what I'll see from agents is they'll add me to their CRM and then they'll just put me on a drip that'll just send me houses. And that's a really quick way to just blend you in with every other realtor out there in the marketplace. What I recommend is that you actually have a nurture sequence built out. So that's emails, text messages, maybe you can do voicemail drops that continue on the conversation of the reason why they gave you their name, email, and phone number in the first place. Do you need to do this today or this week? No, you do not. But now you can go and use a tool like Jasper.ai and actually get it to write those text messages and emails for you. You don't even have to, you're not even left on your own on this. But if you really want to make the most out of the leads that come in through this lead magnet, it's a lot more of a natural conversation for you to have with these leads when you pick back up on the very thing that they reached out to you for in the first place. All right, before we jump into that, because now we're going to talk about actually just optimizing the actual social media pages themselves. Does anybody have any questions? Anybody have any feedback? Does anybody want to, hit me across the head because I just told you to do all this work? No? Okay, great. All right, so we're going to optimize your social media profiles for maximum lead capture. Step number one, you need to create a standout profile image to use on all of your profiles. You're going to do this one time, and we're going to use this on our Facebook, our Instagram, our LinkedIn, and our TikTok. I have linked a video here on how to do this specifically with Canva, but of course, we want to use a headshot, and we want to do this a few certain details that are pretty important here. Statistically, we see that when you have a nice open smile, nice open inviting smile, it will serve you a lot better. And then choosing a bright color. It doesn't have to be part of your brand. I recommend bright blues, bright yellows, bright oranges, because it stands out. It stands out especially well when you leave comments on other people's videos, when people are searching for you, but you want it from the shoulders up, and you do want it to be relatively new. Okay, so let's go over some more best practices for that. So open mouth smile, something that is current, something from the shoulders up. Try to use a simple background that allows you to easily crop it out, because what you're doing here is you're taking an image with a clear background. You're going to use this quick 9-minute video to go into Canva. If you're not a Canva aficionado, just follow this little tutorial here, and it's going to teach you how do you create an image that looks exactly like this. And then again, just to summarize up there, you want to use it on every single platform because you want it to be the same. Because chances are good that once somebody starts to follow you, and I don't know why, please don't ask me why, because I have no idea. It's just every life, and it's just like one big conspiracy. But if somebody follows you on TikTok, Instagram figures it out, and then they start showing you their content, and then they'll likely follow you on Instagram. And then the platforms tend to follow along with that. So, Big Brother's watching. Who freaking knows, guys? But this is what I say, to use the same one across, because it'll just create that fluidness through all of your profiles. Do not use logos. Okay, this one's really big. Still see this to this day. Nobody wants to do business with the business. Everybody wants to do business with you, the person. Of course, outdated photos, and try not to use something that's pixelated. Try to use something that's of good quality. All right, once you now have created your profile, we want to create some downloadable guides that go navigate through the banners that you have. Okay, so here's what happens. And unfortunately, as I mentioned yesterday, My phone got stolen. I've been locked out of everything. I can't even get into Facebook right now to show you exactly, but I'm sure I can build a picture. Everybody know that when you come onto Facebook and you go to your profile and you have your image and then you have the Facebook banner, well, this is what I want you to have as part of your banner. Because what you can do here is I just kind of zoom. Oh, no, I want to do zoom in. I want to let me zoom in. Guys. That. I don't know why it doesn't want to zoom in for me, but when you get the slides, you'll be able to see, but you can see here where my cursor is. It'll just blow up into the slide share. You'll see that here is the downloadable guide that you can offer to give out to somebody. Okay. So I have the banners already made for you guys. So you guys just have to come in and plug in your stuff because again, I'm a tactical lady and I like to go fast. So you can click on these links and it'll open up 4 different styles. I threw in LinkedIn. We're not even talking about LinkedIn today, but I figured if you're going to have this on your Facebook, you might as well have it on your LinkedIn. You can see here, you put in your phone number, you put in your website, you put in your email, you can choose a nice background. Maybe you have, great image of the city that you are in. Maybe there's a neighborhood that you farm. Maybe there's a really great kitchen shot or exterior shot that you want to put in here. Throw your photo in here, and then the guide goes in here. So those templates are for you. You will find them in the slide deck once we send those out to you. So again, just to reiterate, you're going to take the downloadable guide that you have and you're going to put it into your banner, because what happens is when you have this call to action, when somebody clicks on the banner inside of LinkedIn or inside of Facebook, it opens up a description. And in that description, you're just going to say the exact same thing. You're just going to say, download my how to buy your very first investment property Airbnb. And then you have the link to the landing page of that mobile landing page that I just told you to make. So it's really, really nice experience for the user. You don't tend to get dinged as much. Facebook, guys, just so you know, when you make a post on Facebook that has an outside link, it's really going to dramatically hurt the reach because you're taking people off of the platform. So this is one of those sneaky ways that I like to do that, to get more links out and to get more people into my funnel, because they are going to come back. And this is what I talk about, the frictionless opportunity. Raj says, Kara, would you recommend upgrade to LinkedIn Premium? Raj, no, I would not. I would not. And well, if time permits, Raj, let's go a little bit deeper into why at the end of the class, if we've got some time permitting, because we've only got 18 minutes left, and I want to make sure that we get through the rest of these slides here. So if time permits, we'll go into a little bit more of that. The next step here is I want you just to create a YouTube banner. So again, our amazing Jeff here at the company made us another Canva template. Again, Canva's free, guys. Very easy to use, drag and drop stuff. So you can go in, you can add in whatever your branding is. You can add in your imagery. I love Canva. Canva's even dropped some really cool new AI tools in there to it as well. But you can see here that whatever you choose to have on the Facebook and LinkedIn, the colors, the photos, everything that you've done, have it be the same across the board. You want to have the same look and feel across the way. All right, Facebook. So we said here, upload your cover photo, pick one of the templates, update your color fonts and which guide you want to feature. And then you're going to add in a description to that cover image that would take them to the opt-in page to download your lead magnet, right? So free PDF, here's the link, go to the landing page, just as I earlier described. Then you're going to do this same thing again, that profile photo that you're going to upload. Did you guys know that you can have a description that goes along with the profile photo? So if somebody just happens to click on the profile photo of yours, it'll open up the description. You can see here, download my free step-by-step guide to buying a home here in Ontario. This is from like 2019, guys. That's why we don't do these ones kind of anymore, but I like it as an example here. You can see there's the landing page, there's the call to action, and you see that in order by clicking on the profile. Here's a hot little tip for you. When you do this process, Facebook loves it when you update your profile photo. And this is a key reason why you want to have this done for when you update the profile photo. Don't go back in and do it later, because Facebook's going to notify a lot of your friends and family and everybody who actively pays attention to what you put out on Facebook on your personal profile that you just went and changed your personal profile photo. And you will watch. You should get some free leads in the door just like that. All right, let's optimize your Instagram. So your Instagram caption, you're allowed 150 characters. You want to, again, add in the call to action to get them to download the lead magnet. And then you want to add in breaks. It's been a little while since I've done this. I check first, make sure if Instagram naturally allows you to make breaks in the bio. And what I mean by breaks is like John Doe / real estate, then the next line, Miami luxury realtor, then the next line, the next line, next line. You don't want it all jumbled together in like 1, 2, 3 like long lines, because it's very hard for the eye to see. If they're not allowing you to do the break, what you just easily do is that this is just a formatting thing. You go into Facebook and you create a status of what you want the bio to be. You copy it and then you paste it over into the bio into Instagram. Let me just say that one more time so everybody's with me. You want to have these nice clean line breaks in your Instagram bio. So it's very easy to read and very easy for people to take action to download your guide. In order to have the clean line breaks, if Instagram's not allowing you to, open up Facebook, create a status, put the line breaks easily within the status, make it as the status, don't post it, make it, copy it, and then come back over to Instagram, paste it in there into your bio, boom, Bob's your uncle. You're done. You got your formatting in all nice and tight. TikTok, similar thing that we're doing here. We're not changing it up, except TikTok is an 80 character limit, right? So you just got to be mindful that if you just copied your 150 over here, you're going to be allowed even less. But what I like to do here is make sure that, like I work with investors trying to find their very first Airbnb property and then download this guy. But see how you can get it into your under 80. And then again, here we just mentioned, do you have 1,000 followers, personal versus business? But we talked about that earlier. All right. For focus, it's really simple. Like Instagram has Instagram stories and it has the posts, and then Facebook has the pages, and it has the personal posts, and it has all these things that are happening. I just want you, for the sake of this time, as you go through and as you really embody becoming a content creator to build your real estate business, 100%, this is where you need to be spending your time. Facebook Reels, TikTok. Okay, TikTok came out and they copied Be Real, which was another app, which is like you take this image and like the image takes one of your front camera and one of the back. Guys, don't waste your time with any of that stuff. You want to hang out here because of the ways in which their algorithm works, is that all of the algorithms are designed for these, what we call a placement. So the IG Reel is a placement, YouTube Shorts is a placement, Facebook Reels is a placement. It is far more likely to find new people into your audience than any of the other placements. So I'm not saying Instagram stories don't have their place. I'm not saying Facebook posts don't have their place. But for the sake of simplicity, and we look at what is the 80-20, right? What is the 20% of input that I can get that gets me the 80% result? That is these placements here. So that's where we just really want to focus. That's why we're not touching base on anything else. I didn't say this was a social media course. It's a short form video course. But the reason why we just spent the last 2 days is that people are going to come in, they're going to watch your videos, and then they're just going to leave unless you have some of these assets set up, which I want you to have. So let's talk about homework. You want to create your profile pic. You want to create your lead magnet. You're going to create your bio profiles, and you're create your landing page or DM system. I'm going to assume that a lot of us in the call today are likely to go to the DM system. And right now that is okay. That is perfectly fine. But these are the assets that you must have built out for now. Okay. Don't skip this. I had to put in this slide because some of us might be feeling a little bit overwhelmed. But it's really, really important that you get this set up, because these are the assets that we build that are going to pay in dividends beyond. Like imagine you get, guys, I sold a $2.4 million house in Canmore, Alberta through this very method for one of my clients. What could you do? Anybody do some quick math here for me? right? What do you get? 2%, 3%? What's that worth to you in commission? Somebody give me some quick math and throw it in the chat there for me. What would 2.4 million in commission get you? Seriously. 50K. Is this worth 50K to you? 70K. Hey, Vinay, who are you working with? But these are the things that I want you guys to be focusing on. Yes, talking to people, doing things, all of these assets, but this is like the foundation that's really, really important. So that's the way in which I want you to think about these things. Love that. Thanks for the participation, guys. Okay, let's go back up to answer some questions here. Ishwar says, when you say create your lead magnet, you mean create like guides. Yeah, so I'm a marketer. I call it a lead magnet. It's a way that like I attract somebody in and I hook them in and I get them in there. That's just a very, again, guys, call me out when I use the term that maybe you didn't know, but that's what I meant. It was a downloadable guide, aka lead magnet. Ashley says, where do we find resources to get these done? Besides the resources that I gave you today, Ashley, just let me know what other else I can help and I will definitely put you in the right direction there. Right. Raj, I know you had some questions about LinkedIn and then we'll open it back up. So LinkedIn has two versions of like ways you can give them money. One is like the premium version, which like allows who's checking out your stuff, gives you a few more analytics, like it's okay. And then it has Sales Navigator, which allows you to do lots of prospecting. You can get more information about people. If you were, say, somebody who was into like specializing in relocation, then that might be a great strategy for you because what you can do, you can find out who are the big corporations that are relocating to your area that year and start building relationships with those people. You could find them because you can use Sales Navigator to say, okay, I want to find every person that works at Ford who's an executive who's been there for 3 to 5 years or more that lives in this location. And then it would tell you exactly who those people are on LinkedIn. And then you could create an outreach system that's like, hey, I'm awesome. I actually specialize in relocating big corporations just like yourself. And because a lot of times, even though these corporations will arrange with their own brokerages to come in, a lot of people they want to find their own real estate. So that's where the use cases are best used. And if you need any more help kind of like brainstorming on that, let me know. All right, Ashley says, maybe in the beginning, but I mean, how to make these lead magnets, land pages, etc. I'll probably get someone on Fiverr to do it, but just don't know what to get them to make. So, okay. So I would say, Ashley, definitely go back and watch the recording as soon as I send it out for you guys today. Just to go back there, I gave you, number one, gave you a tool called Jasper.ai. We blew some people's minds. I blew my own mind away. I was like, can it make such a great guide? Because like, guys, I used to have to charge like a lot of money because I'd have to go and I'd have to hire a copywriter to come in and make this stuff for my clients. And like, now we don't have to do that stuff because now we have these tools. So first go in, get Jasper.ai, solve a problem for your ideal client that they are having. Give it all the prompts in the world so that it puts out something that's full of juicy, good information. From there, take the example that I gave you of Christian Mortuzo's landing page and give that to somebody on Fiverr and say, go and create this for me and just give them what links and what you want it to say, right? Whatever your lead magnet is and whatever attributes, awards, luxury homes, maybe other videos that you've had, give that to them and have them do it. If you want to have somebody make it on Fiverr, or perhaps if you've got the knowledge and know how to build it on your own website, then that's what you're going to do today. So Ashley, if you need more questions on that, just let me know. All right, guys, we have 7 minutes left of the class. Who else has some questions for me for today?
I have a question. On the background of our Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, on the back, not just after our picture, you said to go to Canva and create something. Should it be just a picture of a kitchen? I have kind of like my Cape Distinctive Homes, not my logo, but a picture of a house with something on it. Or should it be very benign? What's your thoughts?
So go with what is part of your brand, right? Like if you're like in Arizona and you've got that like California, I'm not even from Arizona, but I'm just thinking like that very style of home, that include that and incorporate that style. If you like to work with young executives, like I remember I had one guy, he worked with young executives in downtown Calgary. So it was a very urban feel with lots of brick and harder colors. That's what you want. You want to try to invoke like, who is my person and what's going to make them feel good when they come and see that they know that they're in the right place. So that may be a little broader than what you're looking for, Felicia, but I feel like you already kind of have an idea of what that is. That Canva template that I gave you will just allow you to just easily drag and drop in that image of whatever you want to put in the background there. The background banners are to be used on your Facebook, your LinkedIn, and on YouTube. Great question. All right. If running an FB page, you suggest to share the post in a personal account to get more exposure, or what's the best way to get discovered? Great question. So with Facebook, I touched base on this just briefly yesterday. As of about 6 months ago, they changed the algorithm on the newsfeed. The newsfeed is where you get all that random stuff. And now they're showing 30% of your newsfeed is meant to be dedicated towards businesses and brands and Facebook pages that you don't know yet, because they recognize that it is very hard to grow on these platforms. So I'm not saying that you should just ignore your Facebook page. So your Facebook page, you can take the reels and you can post them on there, but you really are going to see the most amount of umph and engagement and boosting happening from your personal page. So you can create posts and put them on your Facebook page, but like, honestly, for the amount of time and effort that you're going to put into that, I just don't see enough wins coming out of that. I would say really right now, focus on your personal profile and focus on putting those reels out on your personal profile. It can take things that have been made on your page and then share them to your personal. But again, what you're going to find is that when especially posting to your Facebook personal profile, if it's just constantly about you and selling real estate, people will just ignore you. They just aren't that excited and they want to learn a little bit more personal things about you. So tomorrow I have the cadence that you're going to follow based on like how aggressive you want to go with this. And then I give you what is the mixture of personal content versus real estate focused content, and that how you're going to follow that cadence. And we're going to look at that tomorrow. Ishwar says, can we just follow Chris and achieve all what you mentioned? So you mean Christian Martuzo, Ishwar? Like, can you I mean, for sure, you should be following some really big real estate agents and seeing like, how can I create that? Like there's so much. I hate the word regurgitation because it sounds like such an awful word, but there's so much of that that happens on TikTok. And that's what we're going to go over tomorrow is I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to give you the exact hooks to use. We're going to do it live on the call. You guys are going to give me some of your ideal clients and I'm going to just give you some ideas right there, but I'm going to come in. We already have like 100 hooks that you guys can just go and run with because that's exactly what I promised you. But on top of that, what we're going to do is we're going to brainstorm what are some interesting things about you that then we can go on to TikTok. We can sort TikTok to show us what are the most viral videos about that subject. So like, for example, I have red hair. So this is the very thing that I did. I went and I thought, okay, well, what are the biggest TikToks about somebody who has red hair? And then I take those ideas and then I go and I shoot that for myself. And so that is a process that works incredibly well. Instead of just like trying to reinvent the wheel, you 100% should be paying attention to what does the platform already like. Tomorrow it gets really fun. Tomorrow is where we get into a lot of the psychology of things, why things go viral, why things don't go viral, you know, best practices for all that stuff. So tomorrow this is like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is the video. So tomorrow, let me share my screen quickly and we can go over tomorrow's class. Right, and then copy that over. Let's just do day 4, day 3. Here we go. Okay. So day 3, we're going to get clear, have a little bit more clarity on your ideal client. We're going to give you the video ideas. We're going to create content calendars. We're going to build out that schedule. I've got a whole workbook here for you guys, so you can just kind of get rock and rolling. And again, we're going to learn like what makes TikTok am I even sharing my screen? I don't even know if that was sharing properly that whole time. Too funny. All right. This is what we're going to go over here tomorrow for you guys. So you guys are going to get much more into the weeds so that we can actually start creating some content for you. Cool. All right. Any, what, one more?
I have one more question.
Sure, yeah.
So if you have a list of names, say you've done retargeting ads and you have a whole bunch of people's names and phone numbers, right? And they've got you on Facebook. How do you put it into Facebook to retarget only to those names? Is that possible anymore, or do they take that away from us?
No, you still can. It's called a custom list that you can retarget. So you put in their name, email, and phone number. Don't put in anything else, even though you might have lots of information. It's hard for Facebook to find that. The only downfall is that in order for a custom audience to work, it must be a seed audience of at least 1,000 people. Right? So you can do other things, right? Like that's why I say have that pixel on your website, on your landing pages. You can retarget people who watch your videos, all that stuff. But you should be building it up. Everybody should be retargeting their past client list, building it up. There's going to be times where it just won't be large enough, but that's okay. I picked up lots of clients from my clients over the years from people who just randomly come back. And then the client didn't want to give me credit for it. They're like, well, they're a past client. I was like, they saw our video. They saw our video that we retargeted with. Give me a little bit more. But anyways. All right. Ishwar says, can we put Pixel on YouTube, TikTok as well? So I know you can put the TikTok Pixel you can place on your landing pages. YouTube, I don't do any retargeting with because YouTube's quite expensive and it's much more of a platform that you use for cold targeting. I actually don't mess around with the retargeting on YouTube for my real estate clients because it does get quite expensive. But media buying and me, we don't do a lot of that anymore for our real estate. We just do retargeting. All right, great. Oh, Ishwar, I think you're trying to say something, but you're on mute. Were you talking to me? No. Okay. Still can't hear you. That's all right. All right, guys. Well, that's our time. Oh, wait, Raj. Should we have the same name across all platforms? Like I have Sold by Raj Sangha for IG and Raj Sangha Realty on. Yeah, try. Really, really try. If you can have the same name across all platforms, absolutely ideal. Great question. Yeah. I like Sold by Raj Sangha. I think that's a fire name. All right, guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you back here tomorrow at 12 o'clock. We'll be sure to send out the recordings and the slide decks to you today. Have a wonderful day.